In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, true success comes from working quietly and letting your results do the talking. As Henry David Thoreau once said, "The man who goes alone can start today, but he who travels with another must wait till that other is ready." The phrase "work in silence, let results make the noise" embodies this idea of quiet, persistent effort. Today we'll explore 5 key lessons that show how silence and focused effort can lead to meaningful success. Let's dive into these insights. 1. Silence cultivates focus. In this modern age, the world clamors for our attention: notifications, conversations, headlines, and endless noise. Yet it is in silence that the human spirit regains its clarity. Henry David Thoreau, in his time by Walden Pond, discovered that solitude was not an escape but a return to self, to purpose, to focused thought. When you retreat into quiet, distractions fade, the voice of the world softens, and in that stillness, a more important voice begins to speak, your own. Silence becomes the canvas where your mind paints its clearest ideas. Instead of chasing countless thoughts, you begin to observe them, one by one, and choose the ones worth pursuing. Focus is not about effort alone, it is about presence, and presence is best found in peace. When you reduce the noise around you, even the noise within begins to settle. What once felt urgent begins to appear trivial. The unnecessary falls away. What remains is the task that truly matters, the purpose that calls from within. The irony of productivity is this: we often believe that constant activity leads to success, but true progress is born when you give your full, undivided attention to one thing at a time. Silence makes that possible. It slows the world down enough for you to see where you are and where you must go. In the quiet, every movement gains meaning. Every word you write, every plan you form, every action you take becomes intentional. And when your work is shaped by this depth of focus, the results will speak louder than any noise ever could. So let the world rush and shout. You walk silently toward your purpose. Let the silence sharpen your thoughts and deepen your focus. For in the quiet you are not lost. You are most fully found. Q. The power of patience. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. I learned this truth during my time among the trees and still waters. The world today craves speed, instant replies, instant fame, instant results. But the deepest forms of growth, like the quiet blooming of a wild flower or the slow thickening of ice over a still pond, require time and quiet patience. Patience is not passive. It is a form of quiet strength. It is the decision to keep working quietly and faithfully, even when no one is watching and no reward is visible. When you work in silence, you are not merely avoiding noise, you are learning to trust time. You are embracing the unseen process that all great things must pass through. Think of the seed buried in soil. It does not sprout the moment it is planted. It rests, absorbs, prepares, and slowly, almost invisibly, begins to push toward the surface. It does not shout its intention, it simply grows. So too must we learn to cultivate our dreams and labor with care, knowing that results ripen only when they are ready. Patience allows you to endure the in-between, the long stretch between effort and outcome. It teaches you to hold your vision steady when nothing seems to change. And in that silence, your character is forged. Your skill is sharpened. Your roots grow deeper. Impatience is loud and restless. Patience is calm and enduring. The more silent your process, the stronger your outcome becomes. And when your time comes, when your efforts bloom into visible success, there will be no need for explanation or noise. Your results will be undeniable. Let the world chase noise and shortcuts. Instead, let patience be your guide. Work in silence, grow steadily, and trust that just like the seasons, your time will arrive, with quiet power and without apology. 3. Actions speak louder than words. In my solitude at Walden Pond, I observed that the forest made no boast of its beauty, nor did the rivers proclaim their power. Yet their quiet presence spoke volumes. So too it is with men and women of substance. Their greatest statements are made not with their lips, but with their lives. The world is often impressed by noise, grand announcements, loud declarations, constant displays. But words, however loud, are fleeting. They stir for a moment, then vanish like echoes in the air. Actions, however, endure. They shape reality, change lives, and build legacies. One does not need to speak of climbing a mountain while they are already halfway to the summit. It is not the one who claims to change the world who does, but the one quietly improving it, brick by brick, without applause or approval. True doers are often silent. Their silence is not hesitation, it is concentration. While others talk about plans, they are executing them. While others seek attention, they seek results. And when their work finally reaches the world, it arrives with a strength far greater than any words could carry. The The loudest person in the room may seek validation, but the quiet one is often seeking mastery, and mastery speaks for itself. There is no need to convince others of your worth when your work already proves it. In time, your silence will become your story, not because you hid, but because you chose to let your hands speak what your tongue could not. Recognition will come, not because you demanded it, but because your results commanded it. Let the world speak if it must. You work. Focus not on the performance, but on the purpose. Build in silence, refine in silence, and finish in silence. And then let your results echo so loudly that no words will be needed at all. 4. Inner peace fuels outer power. When I withdrew into nature's quiet arms, I did not go to escape the world. I went to understand it, and in that silence I found a deep and unmoving peace. It was not the absence of struggle, but the presence of clarity. That peace became my strength, the kind that is not seen but deeply felt. In the world beyond the woods, noise is often mistaken for power, but true power, lasting, enduring, and grounded, emerges from stillness. A calm mind is not a weak one, it is a mind that has chosen purpose over panic, discipline over distraction. When you are at peace with your goals, you become unshakable. The criticisms, the chaos, the challenges, they may storm around you, but they cannot enter the quiet sanctuary you've built within. This is the power of inner peace. It does not resist the storm, it outlasts it. Working silently allows you to preserve this peace. There is no need to perform for others when you know your path. There is no need to explain yourself when your focus is clear. In silence, you align your energy with your mission, not to impress, but to progress. This internal harmony becomes a force that fuels resilience. You rise early, stay late, push forward, not because someone is watching, but because you are driven from within. You move through your journey not hurriedly, but with unwavering determination. And one day, when your work is revealed to the world, it will carry the signature of that peace. People may wonder how you did it, how you remained steady, how you endured, and they will find no loud answers, only powerful results. Let the noise chase applause, you remain grounded in silence, for from that silence, a strength is born that no voice can match, and no storm can break. 5. True success is measured by impact, not noise. As I walked through the quiet woods of Concord, I came to understand a truth that many overlook. True success is not found in the sound of our voices, but in the mark we leave upon the world. A tree does not need to shout to prove its strength. Its roots speak quietly through the shelter it provides, the fruit it bears, and the life it sustains. So too with us. The loudest person is not always the one who brings change. Often it is the quiet doer, the one who listens more than they speak, who works more than they boast, who leaves the greatest impact. While others seek validation in noise, the truly purposeful find meaning in creation, in contribution, and in quiet persistence. Noise is fleeting, it stirs for a moment, then fades, but impact, it echoes, it touches lives in ways words never can. It lives on in the memories of those we helped, the systems we improved, the beauty we created, and the hearts we inspire. When you pour yourself into your craft, not for applause, but for the love of the world, you create something lasting. You are no longer chasing recognition, because your purpose runs deeper. The world will eventually notice, not because you demanded it, but because your results are undeniable. Work in silence, but let every quiet moment carry intention. Let your discipline speak where your voice does not. And one day, when your work stands on its own, people will ask not how loudly you spoke, but how deeply you changed things. Success is not a show, it is a quiet revolution of effort, spirit, and impact. Let your legacy be built, not in the volume of your words, but in the value of your work. And when the noise dies down, your silence will still be heard, through everything you've created that truly mattered. If you found this message powerful, be sure to subscribe to Echo of Legends for more timeless wisdom and guidance on how to live with purpose and strength. Let your silence work for you, and let your results speak loud and clear.